I've seen these inflatable loungers advertised on Facebook and YouTube for years and years, but it's only with the latest design from the top selling brand on Amazon that includes this inflatable pillow at one end that I decided to pony up and get one. I got this for relaxing in the screen room in my new Gazelle T4 Plus tent, but the too long didn't watch is that this Wikapo inflatable lounger is so comfortable that I keep it on my porch as a piece of furniture. Not right where you see it now. I moved it over here for better light. I've used it for weeks on the porch without adding any air. I just roll up the end to get it firmer when I want to. I paid $40 for it, and though I'm glad I ended up waiting for this version to come out, I don't think I've gotten a more comfortable piece of furniture ever for the money. There's actually more to the design of this product than you might guess. Certainly more than I guessed. Of course, it comes with this nice ripstop nylon carry bag. It has an adjustable handle. It actually has Velcro as a strap keeper. It's got a slide lock on the drawstring. And then when you dump it out, you also see that it includes a patch kit, it includes a carabiner, and it includes a stake and tie down so that you can use this in places where there might be heavy wind, and that keeps it from blowing away when you're not in it. The heavy duty clip holding everything together is not just a generic quick release, it's actually a locking quick release, and so you have to push that tab as you squeeze, and then that way it will open up. The opening part is actually made up of 4 probably spring steel metal bands. So there's one on either end of the chamber openings. It's actually one continuous chamber through this all the way to the back and coming out this side. It's connected all the way through, but each opening has its own set of metal bands to help hold it closed while you're doing the inflation portion. And then of course you squeeze them together, roll everything up, clip it close, and that helps to hold the air inside. The part that holds the air is actually plastic, this clear plastic. It's heavier gauge than say like a painter's tarp, but not a whole lot. And then on the outside, that is protected by this ripstop nylon. This is not what holds the air. This part is what holds the air. With this thing inflated, I'm going to show you one other thing. Both chambers are actually sewn together right here. The outer part is sewn together. So there's no chance of you slipping between these two and getting stuck or coming out the other end. You also have some stretch pockets on the side, which are, I guess, useful for some things. I don't use them. Ooh, there's something pokey in there. That seems to be a rock from my last camping trip, but it didn't poke on through. Like I said, this thing is actually better thought out as a design, as materials go, than you might think, given its price and the fact that it is sold mainly through Amazon. The Wikapo inflatable lounger transports nice and flat in its included storage bag. Before inflating though, you'll want to shake it out and open both sides of the air chamber. The plastic bladder will stick to itself after sitting all bunched up, but just stick your arm in there and swirl it around until both sides of the lounger open up. The amount of time it takes to get the lounger inflated and ready to use varies on how much wind you have and what technique you use to inflate it. I had zero wind to do the work for me, so I did the slap and snap method. You open one of the two sides right as you slap the opening through the air, then snap the opening closed before you stop moving to keep that air trapped. The air chamber is actually continuous from one opening to the other, but it can be helpful to switch back and forth when inflating so that the air already in one chamber doesn't have to get pushed into the other chamber. The lounger won't look fully inflated when it really is because you have to roll the end to get the final pressure up. The amount of air you initially put in the lounger will determine the final length you get once the end is rolled up and clipped shut. So if it ends up shorter than you want, that's a sign you need to do more inflating. I spent 2 minutes and 41 seconds from taking the lounger out of the bag to clipping the end shut. Deflating the lounger is as easy as unclipping and straightening the opening, then rolling it up from the other end. No folding or stuffing or any tricks are needed. Just roll all the way to the end, bend the metal bands into a circle, clip the clips together, and the lounger will be exactly the size and shape it needs to be in order to fit into the included stuff sack. I spent a frustration-free 1 minute and 40 seconds from undoing the clip to closing the stuff sack. This thing has gotten softer since I inflated it 3 full days ago, but it's still good to go. And getting in it is easy enough. Just straddle it and lie back. Oh my gosh, these things are so comfortable. I was not really into the idea for a long time until they started making them with this built-in pillow. And this is the game changer right here. Is this little extra tab, because that way you're not like the whole time, and it's just enough to be comfortable. Oh. But unlike a hammock, where hammocks have kind of this cold butt syndrome thing, the airliner in this is like a sheet of plastic. So that's the one drawback, is that it can be kind of warm, because though you're on this breathable ripstop nylon on the outside, you notice that you're lying on a sheet of plastic underneath. So I did find that when it was a warmer part of the day, I didn't want to be lying on this. But I'm not going to show this because I don't want to deal with the drying and cleaning. People use these out on the water. I could have taken this out on the lake and just laid there. And I'm going to do that, I think, my next trip out here. But they use these in the pool, they use these in the ocean. Now, getting back to the manufacturer, it's kind of like a reverse claim. It's a warning that these are only guaranteed to stay inflated for 5 hours of lying in them, that pressure. You don't want to be relying upon this as any kind of personal flotation device or anything like that, but kind of as a floaty lounger, I think it could be a pretty cool idea. If, you know, like after a couple days or lying in this for a bit, you want it to be inflated a little bit more, you don't actually have to re-inflate it. It's not inflation. You start with it nice and long like I did, and then no cool way to get out of it. All you have to do to make it firmer just roll it. One more full turn. Look. Man, that thing is super tight. And you didn't really make it that much shorter. But that is what will happen, is over time you do that, you're gonna shorten the thing. That's why I like to start with it a little bit longer than I need to. Oh, this is almost too hard. I actually liked it the way it was. But you don't have to open it up and run around your campsite again, or all the different ways that you can inflate these. All you just need to do is flip it one full turn, lock it off, and you're back to a lot of pressure. I highly recommend these. I actually have been leaving this out on my front porch as a piece of porch furniture for myself. I absolutely love this thing. If you want to get one for yourself, be sure to use the link in the video description that supports the channel when you do. Be sure to subscribe for more reviews on things like the Weekapoo inflatable lounger. I really appreciate you watching the Tech of Tech, and I hope to see you next time.